Hello and welcome to a Lividian press unboxing. I have such mixed feelings about this one. Oh, this is interesting. We have a very mismatched foam here. We have, the size appropriate foam and then this little tiny little piece up on top. But hey, it does its job. This, my friends, is Leviathan by Robert McCammon, the final novel of Matthew Corbett's world. The very bittersweet ending. I am both eager to dive in and reluctant because I don't want this series to end. Wow. Oh, wow. Look at that. That's a nice author photo. Very touching. With the cast and crew of Matthew Corbett's world. Hudson Greathouse. Didn't expect him looking like that. I'm guessing that's Minx Cutter on the right. I would imagine so. But wow, that is touching. So this, as I mentioned, is the final novel in Matthew Corbett's world. The third published by Levidian. Well, second novel published by Levidian. 7 Shades of Evil was a short story collection that kind of encompasses the whole series. Nothing too fancy about the binding on this one. I mean, it is very much a trade edition. This particular edition, which was offered to the Lividian subscribers of Brian James Freeman's Patreon, is signed by McCammon right there, courtesy of his signing at Alabama Booksmith. If you want a signed copy, I imagine that Alabama Booksmith has remaining copies. They just had the signing just this past weekend. And I know It's Terrific, Tim, from over It's Terrific, made an appearance. I believe Jeff Terry was there as well from the Jeff Word. Very, very excited to dive in. Is that text bolder, or is that just the way it's printed? I don't know. I mean, one of the downsides of being the trade edition is that the text is a little bit tinier than it's going to be in the signed edition. That is in order to help keep the page count down, in order to keep the costs down, or keep the price for you down. It's happened with the past few trade editions from McCammon, published by Lividian, but I'm totally fine with that. I will have the limited edition coming eventually. I mean, it hasn't quite published yet, but that will be, hot in this one's heels. I actually have another package inbound right now from Lividian, which I think I'll probably be getting in the next day or two, which includes a bunch of arcs, including the arc for this and a bunch of other upcoming Lividian titles, plus a couple other publications that Brian James Freeman had, one being the trade edition of 7 Shades of Evil for trade paperback, and one being Detours, I believe, is in that package as well. It's a whole little paperback package, which I'm excited to check out. If you're not familiar with Matthew Corbett, we have a little afterword with McCammon's signature, printed signature, not an actual signature, in the end there. If you're not familiar with Matthew Corbett, he is a problem solver. He has been described as the colonial James Bond. It is honestly his magnum opus. And McCammon is one of my favorite authors out there. The man has written just superb and life-changing novels such as Boy's Life. Gone South is a great one. Swan Song was a superb end-of-the-world apocalyptic novel. But I will say his Matthew Corbett series has been the most enveloping, particularly because of the depth it goes into across all these novels, going all the way back to Speaks the Nightbird, which was the novel that brought him out of retirement. I mean, it was the novel that put him in retirement originally, but ultimately brought him out of retirement. Yeah, I mean, Speaks the Nightbird, it is demanding of a small press treatment. Like, it's, God, the rights to that one are just completely screwed up. Like, they're held up by some small publisher who's like off the grid, who still lists the limited edition on their website, and they'll take your money, but they're not going to send you the book, and you won't get a refund unless you combat it with your credit card company. You gotta dispute it. Like, it's all sorts of a mess. So unfortunately, there has not been any limited editions other than that original limited edition by whoever the original publisher was. And again, if you could find it, I would love to find a copy for myself, but I can't. I have fingers crossed that one day we can get a Lividian edition of Speaks the Nightbird. Thankfully, Subterranean Press was able to get rights to Queen of Bedlam and Mr. Slaughter. So those both got signed editions. And then starting with Mr. Slaughter onward, you can actually get trade editions directly through Lividian in trade paperback, which is incredible. Queen of Bedlam rights are owned by a different publisher, so no paperback rights for that one. Seriously, check out Matthew Corbett's world. I mean, you don't start with Leviathan. Don't do it. Start with Speaks the Nightbird. It's the starting point. It is the novel that kicks it off. It is a lengthier novel, but it has been broken out into 2 different volumes in a lot of markets. So if you see 2 volumes, that's why. But I think you'll absolutely love it. It's been an incredible journey. Thank you very much, Robert McCammon, for taking us along on this journey. Thank you to Subterranean Press, Cemetery Dance, and Lividian for all doing limited editions along the way. We also SST overseas did a nice edition of Cardinal Black, I believe. That was the only one they ended up doing, which surprisingly didn't sell well, which is wild because their edition is just incredible. But very different than SST's other editions. But anyways, these publishers knocked it out of the park, and Lividian here, Brian James Freeman, has taken it over the finish line, and my hat is off to him. Check out Robert McCammon. Link in the description below to Alabama Booksmith, where you can buy a signed copy of Leviathan for yourself, as well as some other hardcover McCammon titles that have been signed by him. But anyways, please subscribe to the channel here. Once I have read Leviathan, I will do a full book review of it on the channel. Plus, I have plenty of other unboxings to hold you over until then, including, like I said, an upcoming Lividian one that has a whole bunch of paperbacks in it. So anyways, thank you very much, and we'll see you around next time.